Every sin has a root. Every fall has a beginning. And the Bible tells us that the very first sin in the universe wasn't committed by a human being, but by a shining angel who wanted to be God. And that same desire still lives in every human heart today. Today, we're going to trace the story of pride, from Lucifer's fall, to Adam's temptation, to Jesus' teaching on judgment, and discover the only path God gives us to break free. Isaiah describes a being called Shining One, Son of the Dawn. A glorious creature who said in his heart, "I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will make myself like the Most High." This is the essence of pride. The desire to rise above the place God created for you. Lucifer didn't fall because he was weak. He fell because he wanted to be worshipped. He wanted to define greatness for himself. He wanted to be God. And that same temptation appears again in the Garden of Eden. The serpent approaches Eve with a familiar whisper. "You will be like God, knowing good and evil." This wasn't about fruit. It wasn't about hunger. It wasn't even about curiosity. It was about autonomy, the desire to define good and evil on our own terms. Lucifer said, "I will ascend." Adam and Eve said, "We will be like God." And humanity has been repeating that pattern ever since. Centuries later, Jesus addresses this same root issue in a surprising place. Our judgment of others. He says, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged." He's not forbidding discernment. He's forbidding self-exaltation through judgment. When we judge others harshly, we're doing exactly what Adam and Eve wanted. We're deciding good and evil for ourselves. Then Jesus goes deeper in Luke 6. "If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you?" The Greek word here is agapē, God's kind of love. A love that is unconditional, selfless, merciful, not based on reciprocity. Jesus is saying, if your love is only for people who treat you well, that's not agapē. That's self-interest. And self-interest is just pride in disguise. Jeremiah asks a haunting question. Can the leopard change his spots? The answer is no. And neither can we change our own hearts. You cannot remove pride by willpower. You cannot stop judging others by trying harder. You cannot uproot resentment, bitterness, or hatred on your own. The human heart cannot fix itself. So what hope do we have? Jesus says, "My sheep hear my voice. I have come to call sinners to repentance." Repentance is not guilt. It's not fear. It's not behavior modification. Repentance is a gift, a spiritual awakening where God opens your eyes to your true condition. Not everyone experiences this. Some people imitate Christian behavior without ever being transformed. But for those whom God calls, repentance becomes the doorway to new life. And often, God uses suffering to bring us there. People hit rock bottom. They experience humiliation, loss, or pain. And in that moment, their soul cries out, "God, I can't do this anymore." That cry is the beginning of repentance. Once repentance breaks the soil, God plants something new. Paul says, "Walk by the Spirit. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." It is God who works in you. The Christian life is not self-improvement. It is Spirit-empowered recreation. God doesn't make you a better version of yourself. He makes you a new creation. And the evidence of that new creation is agapē, a love that looks like the Father's love. Pride brought down an angel. Pride corrupted humanity. Pride still blinds us today. But God calls us to something better. Repentance, mercy, humility, transformation. Agapē love? The question is not, can you change yourself? You can't. The real question is, are you willing to let God change you? If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who needs hope. And if you want more biblical teaching presented clearly and cinematically, subscribe for future videos. Thanks for watching, and may God's mercy lead you into true transformation.